flour all over my hands. Hi. I feel like I'm a friend that just like ghosted everyone and then comes back like years later and I'm like, hey guys, what are we up to today? And everyone else is like, I'm still around. Here I am. I'm actually gonna have my paid spokeswomen issue the formal apology for neglecting this YouTube channel. So hold on. Read this really loud and clear.
We apologize for ignoring everyone for years. We've been just having fun as a family. Thanks for your patience.
We said we are sorry, okay?
Okay, wait. Here. Here.
Cool.
Thanks.
Here, Tasha. There you go.
Thanks, money.
Yeah. I'll take it from here. Okay. I have notes because I'm that rusty right now with YouTube that I'm like, I'm afraid I'm gonna do one of my normal like 30-minute ramblings and never get to the point. So I'm sorry, I have to read off of notes. I'll get back in the swing of things for a while. So yeah, hi. Actually, this doesn't say anything. It just says, tell a little bit about what's been going on in your life. So I don't know when the last YouTube video was that I posted, but I have a sneaking suspicion that it was at least 3 years ago. Man, I think it's been probably 3 years. I tried to film since then and it just was not feeling right and it was just like forced and weird and just wasn't really doing it for me, if you know what I mean. Like I was just kind of like, I don't want to do this. Why am I doing this? But you know, I've had the urge within the past couple weeks to kind of dust off the channel a little bit and just see where it goes. So the past few years have been full of all kinds of regular life ups and downs. I've had my own health things, which are fine. They're actually starting to take a little bit of a turn and things are going pretty well right now. I watched my husband go through some really scary health stuff and he is also doing so much better. Watched my oldest sister battle cancer. And I'm thanking God right now that she is very healthy. I just saw her a couple weeks ago and I'm just like, are you aging in reverse? Like I swear she's aging in reverse now. Like she, you know, just a couple years ago, she was fighting for her life and today she is thriving and it's just such a gift. It's such a gift. And I think that that was a very pivotal moment in, you know, my life and my family. And it's kind of like if you've walked this with somebody that you know or you have done it yourself, you know that that is the turning point in your life where just things start to be put into a different perspective. Anyways, I've had some highs and lows. The highs are I just am really loving my life. Like I'm just really stinking loving life right now. I think I always have loved life, but I'm just really in a very, very happy, good place. A few years back, I was battling through some pretty significant depression, and I'm not even sure I recognized it as that at first. And then whenever I did, I was like, yeah, this ain't good. Like at the same time, I was like going through like what I can only call like a faith crisis or something. And it's like everything was happening all at once. So let's just go back to the YouTube channel thing. If I were to come on here during that time, I will tell you, I would have sucked the life out of you. Like, because everything to me was just so dark. And I think there's value in sharing the dark sides of our stories, but there's also a point where you need to just have a set of people, a strong group of people who can rally around you and you can share it with them, and they can kind of keep you in a more hopeful state instead of just throwing yourself on the internet being like, well, this is wrong and this is, because that can be just very destructive even to yourself too, not even just the people that are watching. But perhaps that's just my own opinion, but that's kind of something that I'm just hold to. So I did not want to come on here for that, but things that have been great. Nadia is, I mean, she's awesome. Like, she's so good. She's so, like, she's such a fun kid, and she's growing up so stinking fast, like so stinking fast. She's 12. And it's like, I can tell, like 12 and a half really, but I can tell that, you know, she's entering into that teenage stage, but it's like it's like a beautiful transition. Like, I really have loved just watching every year for growth. Like, there's times where I can look back and miss some of the, you know, the little childhood stuff, but then I'm like, but then I get to do, you know, X, Y, and Z with her now that I couldn't do before. And it's just been really fun to just watch her become a little bit more independent and just learn new things and just, you know, continue to be that amazing, bright, shining light that, you know, goes out into the world and just brings joy to everyone. Like, literally. She makes people so happy. She's the best compliments. She always compliments people. Like, if we're at the grocery store, she's always just like, oh, and like, you can just see their face light up. Like, she just brightened their day. I just think that's like such a gift. And then Tashi, sweet Natasha, as she's turning 5, you know, in October, and I can't even believe that it's already been 5 years. It's like, I try to like look back and think like, what was it like before Natasha? It was like, I always knew that she was supposed to be there. Like, there's this part of me that's just like, of course she's part of, you know, our family. Like, I can't, even whenever she wasn't born yet, I already like felt that she was gonna be there. Like, I don't know if that even makes sense, but she's amazing. She's so sweet. She's funny. She's feisty. But she has this like such like a tender side to her where she just wants to, you know, cuddle up with you and spend quality time. And she, you know, we have the best conversations, and I can always see those little gears in her brain turning, and then she asks a question that's just like mind-blowing, and it's just like she's just brilliant and sweet, and just I just love my kids so stinking much. So yeah, so I've been enjoying time with them, you know, and Dana too, obviously. I mean, it's Dana, like just have like the best husband. I just love him so much. Oh, he's so good. But anyways, all that to say is things have been high, low, and just kind of whatever. And one takeaway that I've had from the past 3 years is that no matter if I'm at, you know, a high point in my life or there's a low point, no matter what the circumstance, I've witnessed God's goodness through all of it. Some of it wasn't until like looking back and I'm just like, oh yeah. Some of it has just been super clear to me that he's just so dang good. And I'm just so thankful for my life, and I'm just really happy to be here. So kind of just wanted to share that with you. Okay, I feel like I'm gonna be super emotional today, so you get what you get. So as for creative work, so I've kind of taken a little step back from memory keeping, I guess, in the traditional sense. And I haven't done much of it the way that I used to. I started to work on things like, you know, a Project Life album. Like, I think it was last year. I started to work on it and I was like, hey, this is pretty cool. And then I immediately was just like, I don't know if I'm having fun with it anymore. It's been a little hard to play with paper the way that I used to, and I have so many supplies that I'm almost like forcing myself, or will be forcing myself in the months to come, to just, you know, create some things, because I think it would be good. It would be good. I like to print out pictures and I like to have them, you know, documented in places, because that's one of the things that I was gone a couple weeks ago. I was just somewhere for like an hour or something, and I came home and Dana was like, you know, I heard the girls looking at one of your albums, and Nadia was explaining to Tashi all the things that were happening, like in the pictures, you know, and they were albums from before Tashi was born. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. And so there's that part of me that's in my head, like, you should really be documenting things again. But like, it's kind of hard to get myself into the groove of it, because I think we all have that problem. If we haven't done something for a long time, it's hard to get back into it, kind of like exercise or something. If you haven't been working out in a long time, then like it's hard to just motivate yourself to be like, just do it. Like it can be so hard. So that's something that I'll be working on. But I think that I just need to take a different approach, like something that's super easy, super basic, because that's kind of where I'm at right now. Now I have been doing it a little bit differently here and there using my iPad. And that's something that I'd be happy to share with you on another video. So keep an eye out for that. So I've been doing more illustration work. Over the past year, I've just totally and completely fallen in love with illustrating. I just kind of was using it before. It's just a relaxation tool, just kind of like doodle some things here and there, whatever. And then I started to learn some new techniques and I started to like put stuff together and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So that has kind of taken, you know, form a little bit more to the point where now I, you know, am doing it. I would say that is my focus almost as a, you know, career or business or whatever. That's kind of like where my creative focus is going to, is creating illustrations and stuff. And I have a lot of plans for things like that. I'm working on some stuff to sell, and I was already doing a couple like digital paper collections. I will be really honest because I don't know how else to be. That has not worked out very well for me, and you know, I appreciate, like super appreciate the people that have supported that and have, you know, bought those paper collections. I have them on Etsy but I can tell that it's not sustainable in the sense of it making me any income, and I've tried to figure out, like, am I just that out of the loop? Here in the background, that one's personality is a little different than the other. One is louder, one is everyone's like, Tashi's just like a little you. Yeah, I know. So anyways, I forgot what I was saying. I've been trying to figure out, like, am I just like out of the loop of what, you know, people want in the memory keeping community in terms of like paper and stuff, or is it just not as beneficial for everyone to have like printable papers? Because I wasn't selling physical papers, it was just printable. And so it's like, well, maybe it's that, or just maybe my designs just aren't that cute. Like, it's totally fine. That's totally fine. Some of them I'm just like, oh, like, you know how whenever you're new at something and you're like, oh, this is so cute, and then like a year later you look back at it and you're just like, oh my gosh. But I will say that I'm super proud of the Halloween collection that I put out last year called Not Too Spooky. When I was growing up, I had this Weebles haunted house, and I actually have it. I think it's in a closet somewhere. I have to find it again, but there's a Weebles haunted house, and I drew that as like the haunted house in it, and it's like stuff from my childhood is in there too. But the whole story behind it was that Tasha was kind of afraid. Like, she's born the day before Halloween, but she was kind of afraid of some of the things, and she would ask me ahead of time, like, is it gonna be spooky? And my answer to her was always, well, not too spooky. And so that's where it came from. And so I really had fun, you know, making that with the little ghosts with the bows and the little black cat I put like a tiny little white tip on the black cat's tail. That's supposed to be like my Mila. If you remember from years back, I had a black cat named Mila. Oh my gosh, I love Mila. Oh, I really love that collection. And I might continue to do that just here and there, make like a digital collection or something. But I don't think that that's going to be my primary focus. It's not going to be focused on making scrapbook papers or things like that. Like, I kind of have been playing around with like cards, and I'm learning a lot about like pattern design for like fabrics and what have you. But we'll see where it goes. I'm trying to say, I've fallen in love with digital design like a lot, particularly in like the kidlit genre, you know, with all of the cute characters, and you know, I try to make cute characters that like kids could relate to as well as us kids at heart. At the very least, we can appreciate their cuteness. So that's kind of where I kind of gravitate towards is things like that. But one thing that I'm like super proud of this year was that I got to illustrate my first children's book. Hold on, let me get it. Here. Okay. This book means the world to me, and it's not just because I was able to put, you know, pictures to the words, but it's because the story is about a military family, and the kids in particular who are really missing their daddy, and the mom is home, and at nighttime she tells this beautiful story, you know, to comfort them about, you know, they're missing their dad, and she's like, you know that Jesus had to be away from his dad too? Like when he came to earth, like he had to be away from his dad too. You want to hear the story? And so she kind of goes through it. And I got to draw some really cute pictures of Jesus. And the, you know, the adorable little characters that just came to life. I just loved this story so much. There's so many times that I was in the middle of drawing, you know, a page in it, and it was just bringing like a tear to my eye the whole time. Like I was just like, oh man, it's just so precious, you guys. It's just so precious. If you don't know, my husband Dana was in the Navy. When we first got married, he was in the middle of, you know, his contract with the Navy, and he did have to go on a deployment for almost a whole year. Like it was like he had to leave like 2 days before Nadia's first birthday. So we spent that year away from him, and like Nadia and I would go down to the ocean and we would look across the water and we would see in the distance. We were living close to the Navy base, and so we'd see like the destroyers, like the naval destroyers and the aircraft carriers and all that just kind of on the horizon, and we would be thinking, or I would be thinking about how Dana was on one of those destroyers, except he was across the world and we couldn't see him. And it was kind of like, you know, at the same time that you are you're missing your spouse, you have your little one who is missing their dad. And even though she was so little, Nadia would just be like toddling across the beach, and then sometimes she would just like, she'd sit down and she'd look out and she'd go, Dada soon, Dada soon, because I would be like, Dada's coming home soon, he'll be home soon. And so she would go, Dada soon, Dada soon. And then we would, you know, I'm very familiar with the idea of crossing each day off the calendar. Oh boy, it's too much. So anyways, all that to say, the story means so much to me, and I was so grateful for the opportunity to illustrate it. And I just, man, I just loved it so much. Okay, so before I just totally lose it thinking about all of those old memories, if you want to check it out, I'll put the link below. It's called One More Day Down. It's by Bailey Gagel, and you know, I illustrated, and it's on Amazon. And hey, maybe it's something that you would love, and maybe you know a military family or somebody who is about to go on deployment. Maybe their kids would love the book. Like, you know, check it out. So I'll put the link below, okay? So I'm also currently working on another story of my own. And I don't know that it'll be out even, I would love to say it'll be out later this year, but I don't know that that's the timeline it's going on, because this is one that it's so important to me. Kind of like that, but it's like my own. It's so important to me that I want to make sure that it's done right the first time. You know what I mean? So, hey, maybe it'll be out sometime early next year. Or maybe later, doesn't matter, it's getting done because it's a good one. So I'm working on that and I'm super excited about it. Okay, so I think I've talked long enough. And all of this to say is that I can't guarantee that the content on this channel is going to be the same as maybe it once was in the past, although I'm not sure that I ever followed a particular theme. Like, I was kind of all over the place. It's like, yeah, there's memory keeping, but then sometimes I just wanted to do a little, what did I call it, coffee chat. and you know, and other times, like especially whenever I was pregnant, I was doing more like a pregnancy sort of like vlogging, and after she was born, I did my little happy hantures, which Hey, let's get back to that. That was fun. I really love taking videos of the family, but I don't really show them too often, except like maybe short little reels on Instagram or something. So I don't know, if you want to follow on Instagram, that's where I usually would put some things, but more so I've been using it just to share illustrations. But regardless, hey, you can follow along. My username used to be just Mary Beth Hancher, but I actually changed it recently to the Happy Hancher. So maybe it's appropriate if I start that Happy Hancher little series of like family vlogs again, right? So what I'm trying to say is that I can't promise that this channel will have the exact same sort of style as before, since I'm not really as gravitating towards, you know, traditional like memory keeping, scrapbooking, album making, all that stuff. Just because like life changes, people change, I've changed. A lot can happen in a few years to a person, right? But I do hope that whatever I do put out there will be of some benefit to you, or at the very least just bring you a little snippet of joy in your everyday life. So thank you so much for watching and sticking around, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Hi.
Hey, short interview. All right, here we go. Fast questions. Favorite color?
Sea green.
Favorite singer?
Michael Jackson.
Yes. Favorite song?
Lots of favorite songs.
Name one favorite song.
Thriller.
Yes, it's so good. It's so good. Favorite movie?
Frozen.
Yes, classic. And what was your favorite part of the summer?
Everything.
Aw, I loved it too. Phew. Turn, babe. Okay, ready? All right, Tashi, how old are you?
4.
Yeah? What's your favorite color?
Pink.
Me too. What's your favorite song?
Every song.
You love every song?
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite movie?
It's Frozen.
Frozen, just like Sissy? Yeah? Is that why you guys watch it so much?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a good one. I love it too. What was your favorite part of the summer?
Swimming and everything.
Yeah. Did you like going to Idlewild?
Yes.
Yeah, that was so cool. Anything else you want to say?
Poop.
What? No! No! My kids, ladies and gentlemen.